Hey y'all, what's up? It's Noelle with Baker's Backyard Bounty. It is still humid, sticky, and gray here. We've gotten a ton of rain. So I'm out here now checking out my melon patch. When it rains a lot, things like melons can split because like when they get inconsistent water, they just kind of like explode, which is sad when you're waiting on a melon to ripen. So I'm just gonna come out here and see what's been going on. This is actually my straw bale garden. After Christmas, when they had all the nativity scenes with like the live animals and stuff, I have some family members that work at churches and they brought me these straw bales, and so I've just kind of collected them. And what's really cool is if you water them in with like fish emulsion and to give them some nitrogen, and then I added potting soil and just an all-purpose fertilizer on top and let them sit and get rained on, they turned into like this juicy compost bale. So actually they've decomposed and are really rich compost bales basically that I'm growing these tomatoes there and melons in here. So what I have here is a variety called Sugar Baby Watermelon, and we've harvested a couple and they've been really good. They're just small. So like there's one right there, no splittage, so that's good. Down the line, I have, these are Minnesota Midget melons. So I kind of, oh, there you go. I've kind of stuck with smaller melon varieties just because I didn't know if the straw bales could actually support like a really healthy plant. This looks like maybe one here, Minnesota Midget melon. Oh, yeah, I'll check it out. That one, I don't think it's splitting, but roly-polies have eaten it. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Okay, we'll deal with that. The roly-polies have been a booger on my melons this year. I keep flipping them to make sure, but yeah, that's all eaten. But yeah, the Minnesota Midget melon tastes like a cantaloupe. So this one's kind of orange inside. They're really good. This is my, I think, 3rd year to grow them. Chickens will not be sad about this bad boy. They get all the scraps. This here is maybe like a golden honeymoon melon. I put those in, I got those in a seed swap, and they taste kind of like honeydew. I think I have some down here as well because I don't know what these really are, but if I crack them open, I bet they'll be green inside. Oh, we were looking for our rain stick. There it is. And then finally, the best producers I've had so far are these Kajari melons, and it's vined over onto that bale too, but those are Kajari melons and they taste like candy. They're so good. So let me make sure this one hasn't split. No, the way I see if the melons are ready is I push on the bottom, like the belly button, and if it's soft and squishy, then I know that it's ready and ripe. People will say like when the little tendril dies here, I don't know, that's just what's worked for me. But all in all, if you have some straw bales, then use them. These are like just extra tomatoes I had, and I popped them in these small bales and then just rigged it with like a fence panel. But they're starting to flower. They haven't produced a ton, I think because of the heat. It's just been way too hot, but they're flowering and they look really healthy. So I'm gonna take that as a good sign that in the fall we'll probably get some tomatoes from these. Oh, there's my finger. Oh, girls. No, 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 no. You need to go back in your pen. Look at this one. She's ready to be picked up. Come on. You know what's up. Look, I got you a melon. You're gonna be happy. Nothing will destroy your garden quicker than a flock of unruly chickens. We've lost many a plant. Get over here. These are my Americanas and they're extra sneaky. Oh no. Typically, whenever Lily did this whole bamboo pole thing, we're not torturing our chickens, I swear. They have lots of juicy place to roam down the whole side of the house. When my chickens get out, typically they need food or water, which we check regularly, but just with the heat. And then what happened to their food now is the rain has gotten into it, and so it's just mush, and they don't like mush. So they got out to tell me, Mom, we need some more food. And oh my gosh, at the farmer's market, people were just like petting the amaranth, like coming up to the table, petting the amaranth. It was, I wish I had filmed that day, but it's just so much work and so much going on that I need to get better about documenting it. But we sold out. The bouquets were beautiful. It was a success in my eyes because we had a ton of repeat customers and a lot of community was made, like lots of good conversations, met some new people from out of state, and that's a success to me, is if we build more connections. So, and the money wasn't bad either. Like that's awesome and keeps our hobby going, because that's also a fact of life. So Here we go. Getting all that moldy feed out. The girls definitely were telling me they were hungry. This is what I get for wearing lipstick today. I think we got most of it out. Oh. But like I was saying with the rain, I think we got 8 inches in a day. So there was a lot of flooding and a lot of water rescues. And Reed is a firefighter, so he is on the water rescue team for his city, and I was worried he'd have to be out there doing all that. But fortunately, his city wasn't hit too hard by the flooding. But yeah, thank God for first responders. Can you say hi? These are Americanas. They lay blue and green eggs. I could probably move the camera, but that'd be too easy. But now they're going up. They got their food. The kids are napping. So my life is constantly like listening in, working kind of fast before they wake up. Let's see. The house is quiet. Yeah. My mother's dream. Yeah. You see these gray skies? I guess I'll take it over like the heat that we've been having, but it's just like so muggy, so muggy. Okay, what's going on over here is we had green beans and cucumbers over here, but they petered out with like the extreme heat. It was just their time to go. So I ripped them out, planted corn because I really wanted to do a Three Sisters garden. If you don't know about that, you can look it up. It's a Native American gardening practice that basically you grow corn, then beans, which trellis up the corn, and then squash, which gets shaded by the beans. And it's supposed to work in harmony, which I've always wanted to try it. I was kind of scared to do corn in my backyard just because I didn't think that I could, I don't know, really do it in such a small space, but apparently it can be done if you grow it in blocks. Moral of the story, I was so excited coming outside every day to check on my corn sprouts, and then something came through, maybe like a rat or, which is gross, but a rabbit, I don't know, and ate my corn. So I'm just gonna kind of give up on it for this season and try again in the spring. But what I'm gonna do over here actually is plant a bunch of baby greens because we love salad. Lily has started to eat salad, which, I mean, it has a lot of ranch on it, but who cares? Like, I'm just excited she's eating greens. That's what she asked for dinner last night. And today I made her this whole like charcuterie plate. And she was like, but Mom, I want a salad. And I said, eat your food first and then you get a salad. And I was like, what am I saying? Like, that's a mother's dream instead of like chocolate and ice cream, which are also good. We are a family of like, we love full fat, whole milk, full butter. Everything is good as long as it's balanced. But anyways, to tell her that she has to eat her food and then she can have a salad just felt kind of weird. All right, what I'm throwing over here, some spinach. I went over I have a video and I can link it below of the varieties that we're growing this fall. But spinach, arugula, this tennis ball lettuce. I don't even know why I bought this. I think because it's supposed to be good in heat. Oh, this is grown at Monticello by Thomas Jefferson. So I love these heirloom seeds because a lot of them come with stories. Then also, what other? Swiss chard, I'll throw that in. And what else do I want to put over here? I'm actually going to put some rutabagas in here. Like I mentioned in my fall seed video, rutabagas, you can mash them up like mashed potatoes or roast them, and they're really, really good. So I'm gonna do some purple top rutabagas. So this is the best part of gardening, is pulling the weeds and the grass out. Using cinder blocks, there's a lot of cracks that come up, and grass likes to grow in the cinder blocks. How we did these beds was we laid down a layer of cardboard, watered it in so that would kill the grass, then layered on top of that like garden soil, some cow manure, compost, and then like our chicken poop after it had sat in the compost for a while and broken down. You can't put chicken poop straight on a garden because it's too, like, I think what they call hot. It'll burn your crops. So you have to let it sit and, I don't know, marinate for a while. But anyways, oh, that's a big old bumblebee. Awesome. Oh, I'm so happy about that. And anyways, we get a lot of grass that comes up. So Reed is considering like actually taking the cinder blocks out and putting in some like cedar plank or some wooden boards as our barriers and our containers, but when you have young kids, like I'm calculating the hours that I won't have help with the children if he does that. And so I'm kind of like, dude, I'll pick the grass. Like that's doable because that's a big project to do, and God bless him, he does a lot of this. I'm more of the designer, and he actually does the hard labor. So we may do that next season. I'm not really worried about it. I think he wants to get it in before the spring, so we'll collab on that. But yeah, that's just one of the downfalls of using cinder blocks, even though they're cheap, is you do kind of get a lot of grass that comes up in between the blocks. It's hard to seal that off. Forgot to mention that the last step when we made our beds was like a thick layer of mulch. And what that does is it prevents the weeds from coming up as bad. And honestly, like we haven't had a ton of weeds like we do in our side garden, where we have had that one established for a while, but I feel like more weeds pop up in our side garden than in our raised beds. But the mulch, and I haven't used this app before, but it's called Chip Drop, and you sign up for the app, and whenever they process a tree, they chip it, they can come and drop off their load at your house, but you don't know when they're coming and how much they're bringing. So if you need some free bulk wood chips, that's an awesome thing to do, but we haven't used that yet. We've just gone to like Lowe's and gotten big bags of wood chips and mulch. What that does also though is that it breaks down over time and makes your soil better and better. So we subscribe to like no-till gardening, or it's called Back to Eden gardening. We watched a documentary called Back to Eden that was pretty eye-opening. And so anyways, check it out. No-till, Back to Eden gardening, lots and lots of mulch. Okay, got those in. The ants are out like crazy. It's one of the occupational hazards of gardening, our ant piles. And there are lots of them, especially with this rain. It's like they're all like coming out of the earth. So, all right, headed back in now to do some cooking after I wash my hands. So one of the things that I've really wanted to make for a while and just haven't like committed to it is yogurt. My kids love yogurt. They really love like the Go-Gurt tubes, especially the ones with Elsa and Anna on them, because they market to my children. And so I quit buying the Go-Gurt tubes just because of like the individual packaging. Like it just felt like we were just throwing away plastic, whatever, wrappers left and right. So I started buying these, and it's called OUI, O-U-I, and I bought it because of the glass container. That's really the only reason, but it's French style yogurt, and it's actually by Yoplait, but they taste amazing. I had gotten myself burnt out on Greek yogurt, which we still like to use like for baking and stuff like that. But just eating it by itself, I just kind of like, I went hard in the paint on it for too many years. So this French style yogurt is like thick and amazing. I get the vanilla variety, and I found a recipe using an Instapot to make it. So I've saved up my jars and bought these. They're kind of like silicone lids for German canning jars. They're called Blossom. I got them on Amazon based off of the recipe that was posted on the blog. She said to use these. So they're just, yeah, I got blue and green, and they pop right on top of the jars. So hopefully I'll be in yogurt making business in no time. This is my first time making it, so we're gonna see how this goes like together, all right? Progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. I'm gonna get t-shirts made that say that. I think it's a AA quote. So the first step is 4 3/4 cup of milk and 1/3 cup of sugar in a saucepan. And I'm using a meat thermometer. I don't know, is that the same thing as a kitchen thermometer? It was the only thermometer we had, so I'm gonna try. But you're supposed to heat it to 190 degrees and let it cool down to 110 degrees before you put it in the Instapot. So let's see how this goes. So while I'm waiting for my milk to heat up, it's at 160 right now, I wanted to talk about, oh wait, I have microwave coffee, a mother's necessity. Hang on. Okay. Thank you. While my milk is heating up, I wanted to talk about convenience, because it's something that Reed and I talk about a lot. And we've had some really cool conversations with friends lately and family. So when I think about like why make yogurt, why plant rutabagas, why grow a melon patch and some straw bales, right? Like I can just go to the store and get it. Yes, that is true. That is so true. And in some seasons of life, that is just like what we have to do, right? Because like we're in survival. Awesome. However, what I miss out on when I do that, just go to the store and get whatever I want, whenever I want, is I miss out on being attuned to the world around me. Like seasons, certain things grow in certain seasons and I can get excited about those things coming, like melons. I don't want a melon in December. That's weird, right? I look forward to a melon in August or July. I miss out on the process, right? I miss out on the lessons that the garden teaches me about my impatience and my lack of discipline and those kinds of things that it's constantly growing in me. I miss out on that when I just run to the store. I miss out on the lessons for my kids. So when I think about convenience, really nothing of quality typically comes from convenience, right? Like the food that we cook, or at 180, is good. Like it tastes so good and we cook together. And so for the sake of convenience, I'm just not willing to give all those things up, like the living, the life part of growing and cooking our food. So just something to consider, like what has convenience dulled down in your life? And like, what do you want to explore? Because you will never be bored if you live a life of curiosity and learning how to cook from scratch and garden. Like, you will never be bored. There will always be something to be working toward that you can feel proud about. And that is really, really cool. Whenever I became a mother, that was a hard transition for me, like really hard. And a big part of that was like the sacrifice of like, literally my life became whatever Lily needed when she needed it. And that's part of it, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that. But I thought a lot about like sacrifice and how the best things in life, we kind of have to sacrifice for. The best relationships, there has to be an element of sacrifice in that. And same thing for like growing food with integrity and quality, like the sacrifice of time. And I'm okay with that because the reward has so much I don't even know how to say it, like life in it. And so yeah, I'll trade convenience and I'll sacrifice some time and some energy for that, because the gifts that I receive throughout that process, so worth it, hands down. So the milk is at 190 now, and I'm gonna let it cool to 110 and then put it in my jars with the lid. Pop it. Oh, I'm gonna add vanilla because I'm making a vanilla flavored one. Add vanilla and a little bit of, I bought a full container of whey yogurt just to get the bacteria, like the live culture in my batch of yogurts. So I think I just put like a dollop in there and put it in the Instapot on the yogurt setting. And that's it. So while it's cooling down, I'm probably gonna actually like sit down and just soak in the quiet. Before I soak in the quiet with my microwave coffee. I think this has been microwaved 3 or 4 times. Don't judge, it's just my life. I don't have an Instant Pot actually. They're really huge and I've wanted one because I've been curious about it, but we don't have a huge kitchen at all. And so we're out of space. My friend JC, beautiful friend JC, had an Instant Pot and let me borrow it. And I'm gonna let her borrow my Excalibur dehydrator for some strawberries. So that's also something that's been cool about this process, is it makes us live in community, which it's easy to just Amazon something to your house when you're out of something rather than go ask a neighbor. But we've sacrificed community for that. And so then like we're just lonely and that's not good. So make yogurt, make community. Come on, y'all. This is the good life. Microwave coffee. So what do they call them? Like a co-op? A lot of times when I look at like sustainable living, they talk about tool co-ops where there's like a place where you can rent tools, I guess other than the Home Depot. And it's like a shared commune type thing. Same with appliances. Like, I just feel excited about that. Like we're sharing appliances and stories and get to hang out. So thank you, JC, for your Instant Pot. I'm eternally grateful. I'm going to post the final product on my Instagram we'll do a taste test with the kids and see how that goes. You can follow me on Instagram at Baker's Backyard Bounty. But thank you guys for hanging out with me today. May you find the bounty in your own life and all the beauty that it holds, because it's there. Sometimes you just gotta look. And we will see you guys soon.